This video purposely prepared to fulfill one of the requirements in the Inspire program. I will critically analyze, redesign, and reflect on the selected curriculum courses that I'm currently teaching. I will walk you through this current analysis and redesign using the selected curriculum design model, and finally reflect on the curriculum as a designer as well as implementer. I hope you will enjoy this. Let's go. GMGMK 3013 Human Relations in Administration is a course that is very close to my heart. I teach this course for the past 2 semesters. I love teaching it because it's not only built knowledge, but it also touches the human sides of the people. I believe a good company, a good public sector as well as private company built from the good foundation of the people. So it's a fun course to learn and a very meaningful for the future leaders. So GMGMK 3013 is a 3-credit hour course which delivered through the face-to-face lectures, asynchronous learning as well as independent learning. It's taken by the third year students, which is undergraduate, mostly in semester 5 and semester 6 in the Bachelor of Public Management, who is the future administrators as well as leaders in the public sectors. As you can see, this is a course learning outcome for this course. Overall, there are 3 main CLO that constitute a cohesive part of the foundations and understanding to the applied practice as well as to the higher order thinking. Overall, this CLO fits to the main aim of this course and suitable for the third year student. For the CLO 1, there are T2 domain with applied for the knowledge and stronger foundations for the students. Meanwhile, we go to the CLO 2 with add on another dimension, which is A2, that student can apply and respond to the phenomena. And last but not least, we move to the CLO 3, which is the 6C domains, which is for much more higher order thinking when students can create some things in the course. Overall, there are 5 main chapters in this course, which is very interesting topic and relevant to the course. It ranging from the key concept of human relations in chapter 1, such as empathy, active listening, effective communications, conflict resolutions, human relation development in terms of history as well as in terms of theories. In chapter 2, it discusses on the individual and self-relations, how people develop the positive self-image, personality, norms, IQ, EQ as well as motivations. Meanwhile, in Chapter 3, it includes individuals with other individual relationships. It includes interpersonal communications, message delivery, conflict and stress management. Meanwhile, in Chapter 4, it includes in terms of individual relationship with people in the organizations. That's why it's included in terms of leaderships, powers and issue of the politics, organization communications, job satisfaction and commitment, work design and networking. Last but not least, in Chapter 5, in terms of issues in human relations, it includes the topic in terms of diversity and differences, management, change and organizational culture, globalizations, how to handle problems and complaints, as well as creativity in decision making, as well as the problem solving. So you can see the topic is ranging from the self-concept, motivation, to the leadership, to the communications, diversity, globalization, and other critical thinking in terms of problem solving and creative thinking. So, in terms of assessment, it includes 2 main assessments in terms of final exam that weight to 40%, and other than that is assessment 1, assessment 2, quizzes and presentations. Here is my critical evaluation for this course. In terms of strength, it is comprehensive foundations that covers the human relation main themes ranging in terms of an individual perspective with other individuals, self-relationship, and individuals with other individual in organizations, as well as the main issue in human relations. However, there are some gaps. The course has limited focus in terms of global and digital workplace, which is relevant in the current context of the 21st century workplace. So it underrepresents the ICT skills, global perspective, and innovative assessments. So this gap indicates the needs to redesign for more towards balanced learning outcome, blended pedagogy, and global reference to fully meet the nationals and higher education standards and practical workplace context. In the evaluation and reflection of this course, I personally chose backward design model by McKay and Wiggins because it begins with the outcome or desired learning outcome that I want the students to achieve. That I will ensure that how my teaching and how my assessment align with what students are expected to be achieved. So along with that, I will explain to you in the further slide. Rather than redesign the CLO, I enriched Chapter 5 by adding the sub-theme on the comparative and global perspective, which can prepare students for a globalized context in the digital era and the issues that are very relevant to the current context of human relations in workplace. I also added an applied case study and presentations as a new assessment in my assessment, a continuous formative assessment for the improvement skills of my students, complementing a new e-portfolio to strengthen the authentic and skill-based learning, as well as the stronger applied learning to the student, which the student can apply to the practical-based evidence. From my experience for the past 2 semesters that I'm teaching this HRA, I think this course essentially needs to redesign the teaching and learning process as well as some of the assessment. So by teaching all the traditional lectures, this course will redesign on the experiential learning, which means learning by doing. In this course, students will have a real practice life activities such as role play, case studies, as well as a teamwork project. After the activity, they can reflect on their experience, connect with the theory, and then apply lesson in the future tasks. It helps the student to build not just an academic knowledge, but also as a practical skills in terms of communication, empathy, leadership that's essential in the workplace. So in terms of portfolio, I add on so that students can add a digital collection of their works, experience and reflection, showing their skills and achievement over time. So I will add on another digital tools that are lacking previously in terms of Padlet or also in terms of digital learning such as online quizzes. So I believe this will much more engage students in the class as well as they have the experience-based learning and practically. Rather than replacing the final exam, which I think is very crucial to evaluate the understanding of the students, I add on the e-portfolio in the continuous assessment. This will ensure students still demonstrate the mastery in the theoretical knowledge through exam while also showing the applied skill, reflection, and the creativity through the e-portfolio. So I will add on just e-portfolio because I have also add on in the role play and the peer review assessment in the group assignment. So this is a dual approach that better align with the MQA as well as the KPT's holistic assessment philosophy. So how this educational theory that justified my redesign of the curriculum? So the backward design model, which means that I align the CLO assessments and the pedagogy so everything connects directly to the intended outcome. In terms of constructivism, it emphasizes that students learn best way when they can actively build knowledge through the interactions and collaboration. In terms of experiential learnings, it highlights the value of learning by doing when students practice the real situations, reflect and apply the lessons in their learning. So in terms of Bloom's taxonomy, it reminds me to redesign the activities that go beyond remembering, encourage analysis, evaluation, and creation, which is aligned with the CLO. In terms of 21st century skills, it ensures that the course prepares students with communications, collaboration, creativity, as well as the high critical thinking for the workplace. Redesign the teaching and learning process with interactive methods, make active learning rather than passive, which encourage students to participate and take ownership of their learning. These studies also will incorporate their case studies and global references that push students beyond surface learning. They learn to apply, to analyze, to compare, and critically apply the concept to the real-world context, which enhance the long-term retentions. By embedding both face-to-face and digital elements in this course, it will have the realities of the today's workplace, so students are prepared to navigate on diverse professional settings with confidence and adaptability. Overall, the redesign ensures that students are not learning the theory but also prepared and competence be reflective and the future-ready graduates. In the creative process of redesign the curriculum, there are one main challenges that I faced. It was balancing the traditional assessment with the innovation ones like e-portfolios and the role play. It required me to rethink how learning outcomes are measured, making sure that they are remain valid and fair while they're still engaging the students. But surprisingly, I was discovered that how digital tools can also transform human relations into a living object. Tools like Padlet, Cohort, online role-playing made the course more interesting, showing me that students can be more engaging deeply when technology brings the theories into the life. Overall, ChatGPT had helped me brainstorm the idea to the curriculum design, organize the theory, and plan my slide. They made the process much faster and much more easier, but they just give me the preliminary idea, all the final content, and all the decisions were mine. It helped me to examine and adapt the ability to fit everything to the course as well as the relevant context. This assessment has strengthened my identity as post-curriculum designer and implementer. By critically evaluating and redesigning the HRA course, I learned how the theory can be translated into practice. It reminded me that curriculum design is not only about structuring content, but also how to shaping to be meaningful to the students as well as how students can have meaningful experience. As an implementer, now I feel more confident to balance the academic rigor with creativity, ensuring that my teaching contributes to develop the graduates who are not just competent but ethical and prepared for the real-world challenges. Redesign this curriculum supports holistic development because it ensures the graduate leave university with knowledge, virtue, and service which is aligned with the university mottos and visions. It has a significant value that guide them as the students as well as also the future leaders that serve the society meaningfully. Overall, thank you for stopping by in my video. See you again in the next video. Bye bye.